As an undergraduate, I wrote a poem called I Understand Your Cigarette, and it was an ode to smokers to let them know that I related to the need for an Edmund Burke's sublime experience. Something vast that forces us outside of ourselves. An escape from life, yet a refueling for life. Every morning, we all see it. Someone pulls up beside us at a stoplight to either take a sip of coffee or ash a cigarette. Mass media makes it okay and endorses the experience absent of its harmful effects. In my most stressful times, I find myself longing for a long cigarette drag, right after a morning cup of joe. But not everyone partakes in this ritual for escape. So I interviewed 3 people to find out, what do they do? This is my friend Hyatt, known to most as Saint Hyde. He's an arts and technology major specializing in animation.
Oh my goodness! Whoa! Oh my goodness! Whoa!
There's been a lot of bad things going on around here. A lot of people breaking up with their boyfriends, a lot of divorces. There's been about children being born during finals. Everybody's going through a lot of pressure. Everybody's going through a lot of pressure, but we're doing prayers. We're doing prayers here. What was I supposed to?
And I always drew. It was my escape. It was my high. That's how I got high. I would just draw. You know what I mean? Pinocchio and Snow White were in Transformers and He-Man and Silverhawks and Thundercats. They were idling. They were cool. I didn't have no toys, so I drew them. And then I bought the toys when I was 30. Yeah, so I have a lot of toys in my room.
Saint Hyde is also a cross-genre musician, spreading a message of social consciousness, politics, and spirituality.
What I know of art is the same thing as music. Art and music go together, so you can't have one, so it's the wife of the husband.
Hyde escapes in his art and his music. He also leads a prayer group. Once a day, they take a break to meet somewhere on campus to simply pray before returning to their regularly scheduled activities. Then there's Crystal. We led the University Gospel Choir together as undergrads back in Wisconsin. Now she's here in Dallas, and she directs the band for a church called One. Every Sunday, she plays for 4 different services. On Thursday night, she rehearses with both the band and the worship team.
My life is kind of 2-part. I have the academic side, going to seminary, so I'm going to class, writing papers, reading, trying to be diligent in that. And then I have the practical side, just ministry, actually kind of putting what I do in the classroom to practice.
The interesting thing about Crystal is that she'd always wanted to be a doctor until she went to college and developed a passion for music ministry.
We use music as a tool to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. We had testimonies intertwined through the songs so that people can kind of hear our personal stories and how personal God has been to us and how, God can be personal to them. I remember one concert, we were in Florida, and we were at Spring Break Black something. And Spring Break Black Beach, all that is drama, right? And I literally felt like I was in a BET video. I mean, girls that have clothes on, men are just disrespectful. And it was just a really, a real environment. This is the world that we live in. So we actually went there, and we were on the main stage, and we got to do our set and spread the gospel. And when we seen folks come to Christ with booty shorts on, with no clothes on, and they were looking for something, man, that would last, and they was really thirsty. That was one of the coolest experiences, just to see kind of the warfare, the 2 different worlds, just people wanting to fulfill lustful desires, and then we're talking about, hey, we got something for you that once you get hold of it, your life will change.
I admire Crystal and her passion for ministry, but dealing with people all the time, it seems she would need both coffee and cigarette breaks daily. But she doesn't drink coffee, and even if she wanted to smoke, this chronic cough keeps her from doing so.
And I eventually moved to Dallas, and I got connected with a really good doctor that was very proactive in finding out what was the deal with this cough. So he did the same biopsy, and he did a very thorough job and found that I had this rare lung disease called PAP that only 5 in a million get.
Crystal recently received and recovered from one of 2 treatments she must receive annually for her lungs. Although school, music, and ministry keeps her busy around the clock, Crystal escapes from life by tapping into the presence of God through worship. There are many reasons we revert to coffee and cigarettes, but the experience of them resonates a unified theme of rest and relaxation. We all need it. Hectic schedules, life's downfalls, personal growth experiences all leave us longing at some point or another for the sublime experience of coffee and a cigarette break.